Sometimes you read something online and you just pause and say, wait, what exactly is going on here? That's how a lot of people felt when that post went viral. The one where Lai Mohammed revealed why Boko Haram is killing Christians, and then Dele Farotimi came out to react. People have been talking non-stop about it, and trust Nigerians, we always have different opinions. But let's break it down calmly today. Talk about it with sense and see what we can all learn from it. And please, as you're listening, take 1 second, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell, because we always talk about real issues here and you don't want to miss the next one. Now, Lai Mohammed, has been in government for years. He once explained that some of these militant groups target Christians deliberately to spark division and make people fight one another. He said they are trying to provoke a religious war, that these attacks are not random but planned, so that fear and anger will spread. And truly, when you think about it, you can see how that works. When something terrible happens to a church or a Christian village, emotions rise, people blame other religions, and before you know it, the cycle of mistrust starts again. But here's where Dele Farotimi stepped in. He reacted sharply, saying that explaining the motives of terrorists is not enough. He asked, what is the government actually doing to stop it? Why do we keep hearing analysis and not seeing results? That question hit home for many Nigerians because people are tired. Tired of fear, tired of promises, tired of losing loved ones. Farotimi's reaction spoke for those who feel that leadership should show results, not just theories. Please, before we continue, if you're watching right now, just like this video. It helps us grow and keeps this kind of honest talk going. Now, to understand why all of this matters, let's go back a bit. Boko Haram didn't start yesterday. It began many years ago in the Northeast. Over time, the group split into different factions like ISWAP and others. They have attacked mosques, churches, schools, markets, everywhere. They have kidnapped, bombed, and terrorized entire communities. Some of those attacks targeted Christians, some Muslims, some just anyone they could reach. The truth is, the victims cut across faiths, tribes, and regions. But there's no doubt that attacking Christian communities brings a lot of attention. It shocks the world and stirs emotions. And that is exactly what extremist groups want: attention, division, and chaos. When Lai Mohammed said that, he was basically warning people not to fall for that trap. But Dele Farotimi's point was, even if the militants want to divide us, the government must protect everyone so that the plan fails. If protection is not there, then explanations mean little. Now think about ordinary Nigerians living in affected areas. Many have left their homes. Farmers can't go to farms freely. Children can't go to school safely. Life becomes survival. That's why this conversation is more than political talk. It's about human lives. Every attack leaves a scar somewhere. Sometimes we also forget that these violent groups are not working alone. There are bandits, there are local gangs, there are even community clashes that have nothing to do with religion, but end up looking like it. So when you see news headlines, it's important to ask questions to verify. Not every attack is purely religious, but when religious communities are targeted, the pain runs deep and it can spread quickly if not managed with care. And please, before I continue, don't forget, if you're finding this gist informative, kindly like this video right now and subscribe. It takes just a second, but it means a lot. Now, one big reason this particular topic trended is because religion is sensitive. In Nigeria, people take their faith seriously. When someone touches that area, emotions run high. Some people agreed with Lai Mohammed. They said he's right. The terrorists are trying to cause division. Others sided with Dele Farotimi. They said the government has talked too much and done too little. Both sides have valid feelings, and that's why discussions like this are important. The question is, what are we learning from all this? One lesson is that leadership must communicate clearly and act faster. When people see quick and fair responses, confidence returns. Another lesson is for us as citizens. We must not allow propaganda to push us into hating one another. Whether you are Christian, Muslim, or anything else, violence affects everyone. The attackers don't always ask who you pray to before they strike. Many times when such events happen, you will see international groups and news outlets pick it up. They will write reports, hold conferences, sometimes even criticize the government. And honestly, that can be both helpful and sensitive. Helpful because it brings global attention, but sensitive because it can make people defensive. Nigeria's image is at stake, so when foreign media highlight religious killings, it pressures the government to respond. But real change must start within. Security begins with intelligence, knowing where threats are coming from, working with communities, and acting fast. There are success stories. Communities that cooperated with the military, shared information, and reduced attacks. But these stories don't get as much publicity as the sad ones. And please, as you're listening, if you've not liked the video yet, just tap that thumbs up now. It helps this channel reach more people. Let's talk about Dele Farotimi again. He's a lawyer and activist, known for speaking strongly. What made his reaction trend was not just what he said, but how he said it. He sounded frustrated, almost emotional. And that connected with people who feel the same way. Nigerians are a hopeful people, but hope wears thin when peace seems far away. His reaction became a symbol of that frustration. But let's be fair. Insecurity is not an easy problem to solve. It's not just about sending soldiers. It's also about rebuilding trust, creating jobs, improving education, and reducing poverty. Because where there's hunger and hopelessness, dangerous ideas can grow fast. Sometimes we also see misinformation. People post things online without checking. A headline goes viral, emotions rise, and before you know it, wrong information spreads. That's why it's important to pause before reacting. Ask, where did this come from? Is it true? What's the full story? That's how we all help reduce panic and misunderstanding. You know, one thing I always say is that peace doesn't mean silence. It means justice and fairness. When communities feel heard and protected, peace grows. When they feel ignored, tension grows. That's why open conversations like this one are good. And if you agree with that, please like this video and subscribe so we can keep these talks going. Now, going back to the headline, Lai Mohammed explained that the terrorists' goal was to trigger a religious war. Dele Farotimi countered that government must take stronger responsibility. Both messages, in a way, are two sides of the same coin. One is explanation, the other is demand for accountability. Together, they remind us that we need both understanding and action. Sometimes when government officials make statements like that, people feel they are trying to shift blame. But communication matters. It's better when leaders show empathy first before analysis. People want to hear, we understand your pain, we are doing something, not just, this is why it happened. The way messages are delivered shapes how citizens feel about their leaders. And while we're at it, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel right now. It keeps this community growing and motivates me to keep bringing you verified, honest discussions like this. Another point worth talking about is how religion and politics often mix in Nigeria. Sometimes politicians use religious language carefully to avoid offense, but sometimes their words get twisted or misunderstood. So every statement on religion and security needs extra cut. People are sensitive, and rightly so. Faith is deeply personal. That's why communication must be balanced, factual, and compassionate. Now look at how ordinary Nigerians respond during crisis. You see people helping neighbors, donating food, hosting displaced families. That's the real Nigeria. Compassion, not hatred. The extremists fail when citizens unite beyond religion. So the challenge is how to strengthen that unity through fair governance and equal treatment. Even if we don't all agree with government actions, we can agree that safety is a shared goal. Everybody wants peace. Muslims, Christians, traditional believers, everyone. So instead of arguing endlessly, we should push for accountability and community solutions. Another thing Dele Farotimi's comment did was remind the young Nigerians that speaking out is allowed. Freedom of speech is important as long as it's responsible. He didn't call for violence, he called for awareness and action. That's what democracy needs. Citizens who question, not destroy. Now, let's bring this closer home. Imagine a family in Borno, Adamawa, or Kaduna that has lived through attacks. What they want is not analysis but safety. What they want is to sleep at night without fear. So when they hear the high-level talk about motives, they just want to see results. That's what Dele Farotimi was saying indirectly. Protect the people first, explain later. Please, if you agree that protection should come first, like this video now, it really supports this platform. Now let's talk solutions, because we can't just gist about problems forever. What can government do better? Number 1, strengthen intelligence gathering. These attackers don't appear from nowhere. Someone, somewhere, always knows something. If communities trust security agencies, information will flow faster. Number 2, improve communication. People need timely, honest updates. Even if progress is slow, communicate it clearly. Number 3, invest in education and employment. Idle hands are easily influenced. When young people have hope, extremists lose their power. And number 4, justice. When people see real punishment for crimes, they regain faith in the system. Impunity breeds repetition. We, the citizens, also have roles. We must share verified information, promote peace, and refuse to spread hate speech. When you see a post trying to pit one religion against another, don't forward it, counter it with truth. That's how we help ourselves. You know, sometimes small acts of kindness change big stories. A Muslim protecting a Christian neighbor, or a Christian sheltering a Muslim friend, that's the Nigeria we should all want. Terrorists hate unity, so unity itself is a weapon against them. And if you're still watching till now, I truly appreciate you. Please like the video right now, and if you haven't subscribed, do so. You're part of a community that values honest talk, not noise. Now, before we wrap up for today, let's remember one more thing. This issue is emotional, yes, but we must handle it with wisdom. Blame alone won't solve insecurity, but awareness, empathy, and collective pressure for accountability can. When citizens and leaders both play their parts, progress happens. Slowly maybe, but surely. So as you finish this video, think about this question. Do explanations like Lai Mohammed's help to calm people, or do they make people angrier? And what kind of response from government would make you feel truly protected? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be reading them all. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves honest, calm conversation about real issues. Because in the end, Nigeria will only change when we talk truth with respect and act with unity.